Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my show of English Unwired. This is episode 2, and these are the contents we'll be looking at today. First, we'll see peace, etymology for peace. Then, we are going to look at the grammar module, in which we are going to cover the subject and the predicate, as well as we are going to cover the phrase and the clause. Then, we will see a pair of common confusables that are continual and continuous. Then we are going to see a usage of I would like to speak to. We'll see if it's correct or not. Then we are going to see which one is correct, father-in-law or fathers-in-law. Then we are going to have a vocabulary session of 10 important words. And then finally we'll end the session by having a word of the episode. So let's just get started. First, etymology. P, pack or piece, which means agree. Pack and piece comes from the Latin word meaning agree, and the words we derive from this root word are pacify, which is a verb which means to soothe. So its usage would be I wanted to pacify him or her. Second verb is pacifier, which is a noun. It's a small device given to babies for pacifying them. So suppose if a baby is crying, I would give him a pacifier to soothe him. Third word is specification, which is a noun. Uh, it means to quiet the local people by armed forces. Pacification. So I could say that pacification of an XYZ area was done in order to get the things under control. Fourth, fourth word, pacifist noun. It's a person opposing war. So I could say my friend was a pacifist in his approach. The fifth word we derive is pact, which is a noun. It means an agreement. So the pact made by me and my father was broken. I could say that. Then come then comes the grammar module, in which we are going to have a look at the subject and the predicate. So subject is a thing or a person we are talking about which the sentence is. The predicate is the part which tells something about the subject. The subject usually comes first. For example, if in the following sentence he was the king, he is the subject. He is the subject and was the king is the predicate. So we can say that when the verb starts, the predicate starts. So was being the verb where starts the predicate. So this part was the king, which starts from the verb, is the predicate, and he, which is a pronoun, is a subject in this sentence. But however, there are exceptions. So in the following sentence, here comes the car. The car is the subject, and here comes is the predicate. So we are talking about the car in the subject. So that is why it is the subject and not the predicate. And subjects are left out in the imperative sentences. Sorry for that. So if I say sit down, or if I say, or suppose if I'm a teacher teaching to a bunch of students, and if I say quiet please. So in these two sentences, you is the subject, which is implicitly understood. So I need not specify this. Okay, then comes the second part of grammar, the phrase and the clause. A group of words which make sense but not completely is called a phrase. So if in the following sentence, he came to my door. To my door is a phrase. It's a group of words which is making sense, but it does not make complete sense by itself. Okay, now comes the clause. So a part of sentence which has its own subject and predicate is called as a clause. So if I consider an example, he has an outfit which is made of gold. In this particular sentence, which is made of gold, is a clause. It has its own subject as well as a predicate. Which is the subject, is made of gold, is the predicate. Okay, so at this point in time, you might be a little confused by this topic as well as the previous one. So we in the next episode we are going to look at some more examples to have a grip of these two topics. And phrase and the clause, this topic we are going to cover in depth because there are multiple types of phrases and clauses. So in next episode onwards we are going to focus on them as well. So at this point in time, if you find these topics little bit intimidating, it is okay. We are going to cover them later. Okay, and then comes the common confusables continual and continuous. Okay, so if I say continual, it refers to the time and it indicates a series of successive actions with pauses in between. So I can say continual rain. It stopped and it rained. It stopped again. It rained again. So that this such group of events is continual in action. Continuous may refer to space and time and it indicates a single action without breaks. So I can say continuous line. There were no gaps in that line. It was one single continuous entity. Okay, usage unwired. I would like to speak to. Okay, so in modern English, both the structures I would like to speak to and I would like to speak with. In both these structures are equally accepted, but you will find the first structure I would like to speak to more common and more used. So if we talk literally, then I would like to speak to. If I say I would like to speak to him, it is going to mean that I'm going to speak and he's simply going to listen. But generally in a conversation, I'm going to speak with him. He's going to I'm going to say something and then he's going to reply to that thing. But in usage, both of these and structures are going to make sense, and these are both of these are accepted. So it's completely up to you which one to adapt to. Okay, out of these, father-in-law, father and fathers-in-law, we are going to see which one is correct and in use. Okay, so there are certain words which form their plurals by adding s to their principal part. Hence, fathers-in-law is correct. And similarly, mothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, maids of honor, men of war, and editors-in-chief are correct. And not the other way around, mother-in-laws, we cannot say that, it is completely incorrect. Okay, now comes the vocabulary dose. So these are 10 important words of this episode. Abash, to make ashamed, is or to embarrass is a verb. So I can say I was abashed by his presence in my birthday party. Abate means to reduce. My pain was abated. Abhor, to hate very much. So I can say that I hate poverty in this country very much. I abhor poverty in this country very much. Abject is hopeless. My condition was abject. Abstinent, abstaining, which means voluntarily not doing something. So suppose I'm extremely fat and I want to lose some weight. I can say that I was abstaining cake as I wanted to lose some weight. Abnegate, to reject, to deny oneself things. Then comes abortive, which means unsuccessful. My attempts to pass mathematics examination was abortive. Abridged, to shorten. That story was the shortened version of XYZ novel. Absolute total. My attempts to clear science exam was absolutely what I can say. Okay, I'm not getting the correct word for that, so let's just skip this. Then comes the last word, absolved, to forgive or free from blame. I was absolved by him. Okay, then comes the word of the episode, bona fide, which is an adjective. Okay, we can also pronounce it as bona fide with focus on fide. It means real, genuine. It has a Latin origin, which literally means in good faith. Okay, example of this would be she was a bona fide expert, or she was a bona fide expert, whichever way you find more convenient. Okay guys, by this we come to an end of this episode. Thanks for watching the video and please subscribe to my channel. Let me know your feedback, and if you need any help then you can always drop me a mail. Thanks a lot. Bye. Have a nice day.